I know true is they actually like made a mold out of digging out the backyard a bit as well. But
Really?
That'd be pretty.
Wow.
I'm taking that with a lot of grain of salt.
Unreal.
My name's Conor Ryan. I've
Yep.
brought the family Elgaram Jaguar.
The Elgaram Jaguar,
Yeah.
which has got quite a history and multiple names. And
Yeah, it's had a few names. It's called the Beast for a time.
Yes,
A few different iterations throughout its life.
yes. Just through, it's almost like every owner had their own touch, and so it started off. So a dentist.
Yeah, dentist had it.
Built
Bill
it?
Sir had it. Yeah, built it with like a. They say it's a Lotus 11 body, but it wasn't sort of. It was sort of a Lotus 11 sort of fiberglass body. It was sort of a weird.
And modified, was it? So it was sort of chopped
it was-
up a little.
Yeah, but they say like, but it doesn't really look anything like a Lotus 11. It's just the engine was hanging out the front. It was pretty.
It was pretty ugly.
It's pretty ugly.
Insert picture here.
Yeah. There's a photo of it running against the coupe, the Carter Corvette at Geelong Sprints like that. It's pretty,
Yeah.
It's pretty hideous. And then he sold it to one of his customers, which was the Bolwell brothers.
And that was a trade, as I understand it. You traded one of his cars, his daily.
I think the dentist Bill sold it to. I think it was Insula Sports Cars or whatever, and then it ended up because it's the local dentist.
Yeah.
It's just. It's going to be one of his customers. And they bought it and they built this body for it.
Which.
They really have it for. They only had it for like 2 years or something. They built it and then they got rid of it.
It was
eventually.
unreal, yeah. So from what I understood, Graham, he built it using chicken wire and basically paper mache to build up the frame.
Well, I've even heard a rumour, I know true, is they actually like made a mold out of digging out the backyard a bit as well. But
Really?
That'd be pretty.
Wow.
I'm taking that with a lot of grain of salt.
Unreal. So purely backyard built, but to have such a beautiful lined body,
Yes.
Jaguar type-esque, you know, but like to be built.
Almost Maserati as well.
Maserati,
Sort of,
yeah.
European frontage and sports racing.
But to get something that looks so nice out of basically just freehanding it, if you want to call it that way,
Correct.
And so your family, you've had it since the 70s, so early 70s.
Since, what, 74, John? 73? Yeah, somewhere around that. Well, John actually nearly bought it back in the day.
Right,
I looked at it before Conor's father bought it, yeah.
right. And what was the turning point of not purchasing it versus?
Probably wanted to work, too much work
Yeah,
at the time, yeah.
yeah.
But then Johnny did a lot of the restoration work on it anyway. So
Oh, so was that your shop? So
he did some like most like mechanicals as well.
right,
A bit of everyone. It's a bit of a team effort of everyone. Wasn't it?
yeah,
So it was Terry Cornelius did the body.
yes,
David Rackley,
David Rapley did the chassis and running gear.
yeah.
My dad and you did all the wiring, putting it all together,
yeah, finishing off.
finishing off.
Yeah.
And I built the engine.
Rod painted it.
Sorry,
Rod painted it.
Rod painted it.
Was it in this colour?
Originally, it was sort of a. It was more. When it first got finished, we were just going off some black and white photos. It's a bit hard to see what colour, but we've actually got some photos from when the Bolwell brothers had it. It's quite a. We got it close, but it's more of a brighter, nearly a reddier colour.
Right.
So it's close, but not quite there.
And also, at some point in its life, it was a paddock basher.
Oh, it did everything.
So
It's-
it was actually, the article that I read, it was sort of quite sad to hear that it went from what it was to slowly deteriorated to be just almost worthless in a way.
It went drag racing and fisherman's bed that had a custom line engine.
Yeah.
Got chopped up. And,
Yeah.
It's had a bit of a life.
At that stage, I think it was nicknamed the Beast.
Yeah.
When it had the custom line.
Yeah, I think, and it was
running
also
gear.
called the fastest sports car in Frankston. For a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
Which, I don't know, a bit of a claim to fame of that era. I don't know how quick the cars around it were. But it goes, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick.
But so obviously it was originally had the Jaguar engine.
Yep.
And was it the 3.8?
It was a 3.7.
3.7,
rather
yeah.
boring out. So it's easy
Yeah.
to put 3 out and it's already there.
Yeah.
So,
And Austin suspension running gear,
Austin
like
Healey,
underpinnings.
Yeah. Big Heeley suspension brakes.
Yeah.
So it's got the Jaguar engine and gearbox, and then Heeley pretty much everything else. Strong is pretty reliable. It's pretty quick in a straight line.
and road registered, of
Road
course.
registered,
So you can.
That's why I got all my junk there, which I put in the car, and drove it over. And pulled the seat out the other day so I could fit everything in. So I could put the S gear.
Yeah.
So you get a few funny looks, driving into the race meet, driving home.
You would turn.
Especially when people, you beat someone and then they put their car on the trailer and you go past the trailer on the freeway,
You'd turn some heads, and so has it always been? No, it would have had a period where it was unregistered.
Yeah, probably from about late 60s up until we finished in 2010, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So it was unregistered for a fair bit.
Yeah.
But that's because it was, it was a drag car, and then it was languishing in the workshop.
And it doesn't strike me as a drag racing looking car. So like,
No.
whoever bought it to drag race it, it
They
seems
chopped
quite.
up the rear guards, put big tyres on it. And did all
Yeah.
this sort of stuff.
And the front clip, was that, did I read it right that it was refound, as in the original front clip that Graham had built?
Well, we've got some of the original front clip, but it got chopped up, so there wasn't much of it left. It's
Okay.
just really, because the whole engine bay got chopped, so it was really just
Yeah.
the mud guards and the real front part.
But it was enough for you to go by to recreate
Yeah,
close
It's
to.
close, it's not quite right.
Yeah.
But with the information we've got now, in hindsight, we could have, but when the body was being made and when Dad did all these calculations,
Yeah.
what size everything,
Yeah.
that's the closest it could be done.
Yes.
Looking at it now, we've got a few photos that come to light after the fact. It's like, oh, well, that's not quite right. Doesn't really matter.
And was it a little bit of a unloved child in a way? Was it ever, how do I say it? So accepted as a Bolwell?
Well, the Bolwell people are like, some of the Bolwell people are very nice about it. Like, I've been to their club events and we took the car down there years ago and stuff. But some of the guys aren't a fan of it because we've never called it a Bolwell because.
And is that all? Is that the only reason? Because it had never been
it's
given
never
that
called a
name,
Bolwell.
even though it was built by.
Yeah. It was only when they started writing books and that sort of stuff that.
Yeah.
They go, oh, it's Bolwell Mark II. And it's like, well, but it was
The
never,
Mark III, yeah.
The first two cars, they never
Yeah.
called it Bolwell Mark I, Bolwell Mark II. There was just like, it was the Bolwell's cars because
Yes.
they owned it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
a model of car.
Yeah.
But I think they go, oh, this must be the Mark III because the 4 was the first production sort of sports car they built.
Yeah. And that one
Loose term production sports car.
sort of looked similar, a little wider.
Yeah, a little bit bigger than a Mark IV.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Yeah.
skinnier and a bit smaller.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Well, thank you very much for your time and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Connor.
Cheers.